Are you in fashion?
in fashion?
Did you see what she's wearing? Baton shoes. I'm Sonia Sly. My heels are killing me. But I was told I have a backstage pass.
You will need to get the right pass to get behind me, ma'am.
I need to go.
Code red. We have a situation.
I'm taking you inside the fashion industry to discuss trends, the reality behind the glamour, and the highs and lows of a fast-paced industry that never stops. New Zealand Fashion Week has been and gone for another year, but it provided the perfect opportunity for me to do a bit of model stalking.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting here with Jin and Mary.
Hi.
Hi.
So the one question that I have is, how does it feel to be so ridiculously good looking?
Yeah. It feels normal. No, I'm kidding. It's just like anything else, I guess.
I don't know, I guess you don't really realize that you're good looking until a scout comes along and it's all like, oh my gosh, look at you, and you're like, what, am I a creature? And then basically, and they're like, you need to do shows and stuff, which is really fun, and then you don't realize, it's not conscious.
You're not self-aware of it, yeah.
Really? I mean, do you have off days where you're like, my hair is just not doing its thing, I'm feeling like
Every
crap?
day.
Yeah, pretty much
Every day for me.
Yeah, pretty much every day.
So, Jin, you're Malaysian, Chinese? Malaysian Chinese?
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah.
I mean, how does it feel to be in the industry? Do you feel like you have to represent?
Yeah, I don't think I'm a poster boy for that, but it feels good to see diversity at lots of different fashion shows. I mean, especially now we've got so much more diversity than there was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And Mary, what's your ethnic background?
I'm Sudanese.
Sudanese.
Yeah, but I grew up in New Zealand. I guess I don't really, growing up here, I didn't really recognize myself as, Sudanese. I always thought myself as Kiwi until I kind of went into the fashion industry. And then it's kind of you're one of the only black models or one of very few. But then, so I feel like I am representing people that look like me and Africans and stuff, which is really fun.
And New Zealand is much more diverse now.
Yeah,
Did you guys feel like breaking into the industry? I mean, obviously you were both scouted first.
Yeah.
I mean, so it hasn't been hard to get work. I mean, I've seen both of your faces everywhere.
Yeah, no, the thing is, when I first started modeling, I wasn't really pursuing it. I was just like, okay, this will be, something fun to do. And then my agent, my agent is amazing because, she always pushed me forward, so she had never limited me to just, what black models would do. She'd always, put me out there to do, a whole range of stuff. And she always created my portfolio to be, at a standard where I could be at international. So, she's made it so much easier for me to get work, and she's made me appear versatile and everything, which is really good.
I think being from a different ethnic background probably gives you a bit of an edge, do you think, in the industry? Because, the world that we live in is all about diversity and, being who you are now. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Jin, you're studying as well. How do you fit that in?
It's a little bit more hectic now. So I've been doing modelling for about 4 or 5 years, but so I've just started my PhD and I've got less time to go for castings and things. But yeah, it's working well so far this year.
And how do you balance the academic with the fashion industry and kind of strutting your stuff down the runway and wearing all sorts of things?
It's a little bit hard, but then I think Fashion Week is just probably the busiest time. I can kind of juggle that for maybe 1 or 2 weeks, but if it's for the full year, I don't think I can do that.
But do you want to be a full-time model in the fashion industry? What are your dreams?
My dreams, well, I'd like to be a model scientist. Model/scientist. Yeah.
Okay, hot scientist.
Yeah.
Do people kind of go, want to take photos of you, randomly on the street?
Not so much pictures, but they just stare at you because you stick out. Well, I stick out because I've got really long hair and I'm quite tall. So I stick out a bit more from the crowd, but it's just the occasional extra second of people looking at you.
So how tall are you?
I'm 6 feet tall.
Okay, and Mary?
About 6 feet.
Okay,
6 foot as well.
So that's kind of standard heights for models.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that it's important to, as a model, do you feel like you use your intellect? Is there a bit of that involved?
A little bit, but I feel like everything that I've learned at uni has made me communicate with people easier because I have things to talk about because I did social anthropology, so it's all about people. So every time I meet people, it's always I'm always trying to learn more about them and where they came from and just everything about them, which is, so I guess it has helped in communicating and making friendships and stuff.
You are the clothes horse for designers. Is there anything that you've either like ripped in the process of doing a show, that any accidents that have happened?
It's always makeup.
It's
Especially
always
with
makeup.
the turtlenecks.
Yes.
My head's so big. I just wipe some onto the clothes. It's so bad.
Probably the makeup.
Yeah. And buttons popping off all the time. Especially when it's like you try and take them off really quick and then buttons come
pop
off.
off, yeah.
Or like little beads and jewelry and sequins. It gets crazy.
And sometimes the shoes don't fit you well, and that's the biggest problem, I think.
Yeah, because how are they going to pick the exact size for you?
Yeah, lots of tissue paper to stuff the shoes in.
Oh, is that right? That sounds so uncomfortable. And is it?
It is, but it's just for 15 seconds, and then you're out of that outfit and then into the next one. So,
Do you feel like you actually take on a different character when you're on stage or in front of the camera?
Yeah, I reckon so. Like in real life, I'm really bubbly and happy, but once I get on the catwalk, like I'm very sassy and like moody. And then so then it's like a new me. So it's like I'm different. It's the performer me almost, which is really fun. I enjoy like having the two different lives.
Is that important though? Because you're being dressed by different designers who have different looks, so therefore you kind of have to bring a different energy.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
They vary. The other thing is, how do you model, like, what's the best way to model together? What's a trick? Because you probably have to do it sometimes.
As in like photo shoots.
Yeah.
I think you have to kind of build some sort of chemistry with that other model so you're comfortable around them to do things and I guess like have fun on photo shoot and on set and everything. So that's one way how I would, I guess, like try and work with another model. Because if there's like tension, it's like really weird and awkward, but usually most models are really nice and very friendly and always
Chill.
very chilled out,
Yeah.
especially over here. So
There is something about taking photos of models where the light, I don't know, it just bounces off the angles and it's just like, there's nothing you can do that can be wrong in front of the camera. Or is there? What are the tricks? Do you have a specific side that you favour, Jin?
Probably the right side, I suppose, but that could be because I'm right-handed. I don't know. I guess you just go with the flow and you just listen to the photographer and see what he or she wants, and you just kind of get a feel for it. You know, give them lots of different options as to angles and movement and stuff, and just be yourself and just don't be too nervous or stressed.
And you take on a character when you're in front of the camera rather than like runway. Are you thinking like, do you think of the whole blue steel thing, or do you think of, I'm trying to staunch you out right now?
Totally, yeah. I guess it's different from designer to designer depending on what you're wearing, but you go with what the mood is. Yeah.
Because I guess like if the outfits look very like dark and grungy and hip hoppy, then you're a lot more fun, a little bit staunch. Whereas like if it's like very pretty gowns and stuff, then you're all like, yes, I'm hot. Like, so you're very like finessed and everything. But photo shoots are different to shows for me because like when I'm doing a show, like I'm in like a different mode and everything. Whereas like at photo shoots, I'm just me, but like working on angles, and you talk to the photographer, and then everything's like quite balanced, so you're still yourself while you're taking a photo, but then you still have to bring the picture out. Like you still need to do a really good pose and everything.
And models have different walks. Like there are some people that just glide along, and how would you describe your catwalk
My
style?
catwalk, probably just ethereal, I guess. Just glide. I'm quite a fast walker, even on the street when I'm not going down the runway.
Do you think about it? Like, do you have to practice at home and that kind of
No.
I do. Sometimes I forget how I walk, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to make it perfect again. Because like I feel like sometimes if I don't do shows for a long time, I forget how I walk, or it'd be like a little boring than I really want it to. So like, yeah, because I kind of like the whole hip thing, and it's like, yes, I'm having fun, but I'm still hot, and kind of just like gliding over the runway, which is like one thing that I always want to get perfect. Since I get into my mode, it's like, since I'm sassy, I gotta walk sexy, I gotta be hot. So in my head, I'm thinking Rihanna. I'm all like, and I've got this.
That was Mary from RPD Models and Jin from Unique Model Management. You've been listening to My Heels Are Killing Me. I'm Sonia Sly. To find out more or to listen again, head to our podcast page on the rnz.co.nz website.